welcome to this special edition of Inside Texas Tech. I'm your host, Robert Giovannetti. We're happy to be joined tonight by Texas Tech Director of Athletics, Kirby Hocutt, the 13th AD in Texas Tech history. He's been here since March of 2011. Kirby, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
You bet. Always appreciate visiting with you. Thanks for having me on.
You know, think about that. 2011, so you've been here, you're coming up now on 3.5 years, almost 4 years. Does it seem like it's been that long? Does it seem like, hey, this has flown by? What's it like for you?
You know, it's been great, and I guess as I sit back and think, 3.5 years has gone very fast, but I couldn't be more excited today about Texas Tech athletics or the future of Texas Tech athletics than I am today. So it's been an eventful 3.5 years, and it's been a lot of fun, and even more so looking forward to the future.
Now, when you came here, this was your third position, right, as an AD. You were at Ohio University, then Miami, Florida, and then here at Texas Tech. Did those two jobs kind of prepare you for what you faced when you came here to Lubbock?
Without question. I think everything that I have gone through in my career, dating back to lessons that were important to me growing up, things I learned from my parents, to my 5 years as a student athlete, to the early years as an athletic administrator, but most importantly, the two previous opportunities to serve as the athletics director, first at Ohio University for 2.5 years, and then at the University of Miami for 3 years. So this is where I hope to stay for a lot longer than those first two opportunities, and now that I've surpassed it with 3.5 years, I guess that's a step in the right direction.
What do you do when you come to a job like this? Obviously, there's a certain time to acclimate, and you've got to learn the traditions and things like that. How do you approach a job when you come into a position like this?
Well, I've learned that the first thing you do is you listen, and you ask a lot of questions, and you learn, and you ask questions, and you have to be patient, because there is a culture at a university, and there are traditions and things that are unique and special to every university that you have to learn. And so I think over time I've learned that first year is a phase where you're not going to change a whole lot, but it's important to listen and to learn as much as you can about the university. And the great thing for me in coming to Texas Tech University is that I was born in the state of Texas. I was raised in a small town. This feels like home in every sense of the word. And you know, the one thing that we talk about was said when I made the decision to come here, and I've learned since, is that we have the best people anywhere in the world right here in West Texas, and that's proved to be true.
So did you find people here very open and accommodating to you right from the start?
Absolutely. Just the welcome, the hospitality that we received from the start and have continued to receive has been world class.
Hey, you know, I think one of the interesting things about you and the job you've done is you've done a really very good job, I think, of bringing in all factions and then also embracing the past. You know, you look at things like the Ring of Honor now that we have at Jones Stadium. How important were those kind of things for you to get established here?
Well, it's important. I believe that we're a team. We all have the same goal, and that goal is to be the very best intercollegiate athletics program in this country, to do things that are always going to bring pride and distinction to Texas Tech University and to this entire community and region. And to achieve that dream, to achieve that goal, is going to take us all working together. It's going to take this entire university family coming together unlike it's ever come together before, and to experience that type of success. And I believe that we're establishing the foundation to achieve some very special things, and that's going to be because the leadership that we have at the university and continue to enjoy. It's going to be because of the individuals who have sat in these chairs before us and the tremendous vision that they had for Texas Tech University, and the young men and women who competed at Texas Tech. And that's one of the things that I enjoy as much as anything, is being able to meet those former student athletes and to have them come back, if it's for Double T varsity club reunions, or if it's for the Texas Tech football Ring of Honor, or if it's meeting them at the various events that we have throughout the state and region. That is a lot of fun to reminisce their memories, their experiences, and what has built this athletics program into where we are today.
Do you find that people like that the ex-athletes, and they're just waiting to be asked to come back to something like this?
Everybody wants to be included. Right. They want to be a part because they believe in who we are and what we do. And what we do is education through intercollegiate athletics. And I think as a former student athlete, 10 years down the road, you look back and you reminisce and you think about those experiences that you had, if they were the challenges in practice, or if they were the highs of victory, or some of the lows of defeat. Those lessons that you learned during your 4 or 5 years as a Red Raider are some of the most valuable lessons that you will carry forward in life and will shape your decision making on as a parent, as a professional, and as an individual for the rest of your life. So that connection you want to maintain and continue to remember those great times.
I think another great thing that you've done is you've kind of taken this maybe holistic type approach, that it's more than just what we're doing on the field. You know, the kids are participating in the community. You're really developing leaders besides just what they're playing the sport on the field.
Well, we are a very visible component of higher education, but at the same time, intercollegiate athletics is a very small component of higher education. The key word there is higher education. And I do look at our head coaches and our administrators and our academic support personnel as educators. We are here to have a positive influence on the lives of the young men and women that compete in intercollegiate athletics and prepare them for life after the university and prepare them for success in life. At the same time, we compete on the largest, highest visibility stage in intercollegiate athletics, and we want to be successful and compete for those championships as well. How proud has it made you to see these student athletes really embracing what you've taught them? I've heard you talk about it, and I see them all the time. Clark Lambert had the great idea for the outreach for the student athletes. They're not only taking your ideas, but also they're coming up with some of their own. We have incredibly talented young people that I feel so privileged to work with each and every day. But you know, as you look at initiatives like Clark has put together on his own, that is a testament to this university and the type of young person that we're recruiting, that our coaches are recruiting. And you know, in Clark's case, you look at the leadership of Tubby Smith and the influence that Coach Smith has had on the lives of these young men in our program today, and that is making such an impact on their life and who they are and who they're going to develop in becoming. So I play a very small role. I get to set the tone, but we're only going to be as successful as those people we have around us. And when you've got the administrators, you've got the head coaches, the assistant coaches that we have, great things happen.
Great things have happened already and are going to happen in Texas Tech athletics. When we come back, Kirby Hocutt will talk a little bit about the future, including the campaign for Fearless Champions. You're watching Inside Texas Tech here on Texas Tech Public Television.
In the blink of an eye, the world has changed. 30 years have come and gone. There have been wars and peace. Justice has been served and denied. Fortunes won and lost. And we've watched it all, on big screens and small. In the blink of an eye, it will be 2043. In the next 30 years, wars will be fought. Economies will crash. People will rise up. Nations will fall. And technology will evolve. Each new generation makes its own history. And a new generation of Frontline will be here to tell it. Frontline. Thought-provoking journalism, wherever and whenever you find us.
Welcome back to Inside Texas Tech. I'm Robert Giovannetti. We're pleased to be joined tonight by Kirby Hocutt. He's the athletic director at Texas Tech University. We've been talking to him about his first 3.5 years here on the campus of Texas Tech University. And Kirby, we've talked a lot about things you have accomplished, and then you're also looking to the future with this campaign for Fearless Champions. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, it's an exciting time. It's an exciting time for us to look forward and not discount those who have come before us, those who have sat in the chairs that we sit in. They have had tremendous vision and invested over $225 million into our athletic facilities in the last decade. And that's just an enormous and tremendous investment and vision. And facilities do make a difference when a young person's deciding on where they want to spend the next 4 or 5 years of their life. Athletic facilities are a distinguishing influencer on their decision-making process. And it's our responsibility today to look to the future. And that's what the Campaign for Fearless Champions is all about. It's about our future. How do we continue to invest and grow our athletic facilities to make sure they are some of the best in the country? How do we continue to invest into our scholarship endowments so we have those operational funds that are there as we go forward, as the intercollegiate athletic national landscape changes, to know that we're going to be able to compete at this level. And then there's also a component related to our future and planned giving. So those who sit in these chairs after we're finished will be able to continue to build upon the foundation that is being established today. And then also we talked in the previous segment about educating student athletes, and there's a component related to a leadership academy that Coach Sharp, Marcia Sharp, has been so instrumental in establishing and building, and that's also a component of this campaign and initiative.
Well, and we'd be Pollyannish to say all this stuff is great, and we've talked about, hey, but it's not, it's not always all about what's on the field. But the bottom line is, it is about what's on the field too, right? We want to win, and we want to be the best, and we want to win championships, we want to hoist trophies, and this gives Texas Tech the best opportunity to do that.
It does. Every venue that we compete in, there's a scoreboard. And so at the end of the game, there's a winner and there's a loser, and we want to be on that winning side, and that's very important to us. That's what drives us. We want to be the best in the Big 12 Conference. When you're the best in the Big 12 Conference, you're going to be the best in the country, and so that is what we're working towards. And when you look at some of the tremendous facilities that have been built, if it's the United Supermarkets Arena, if it's the John Walker Soccer Complex, or the Terry and Linda Fuller Track and Field Complex, Jones AT&T Stadium, some of the nicest facilities that you'll find in the country, it's our responsibility. It's our responsibility to make sure we maintain that commitment and also continue to enhance it and build for the future.
Now, I want to get back to the facilities, but I did want to talk about the scoreboard and winning and losing, because I'm curious about you, because you're a nice guy and you're very easygoing, but you're obviously a very intense guy as well. What's it like for you watching a game? How wound up do you get during a game?
It's exciting. There's nothing that I enjoy more than to watch student athletes celebrate after a victory. Last night, I was flying home from Chicago and was following online our volleyball match at Baylor. We had not won in Waco in a decade. And to have a chance to talk to Coach Flora when we landed back in Lubbock, it was about 10:30 last night. He was on the plane with his team, and he said, "I just want you to listen to this." And he held his cell phone in the air, and the girls were celebrating, and were on such a euphoria for the win against Baylor. That's what it's all about for me. Watching a group of young men dogpile on the way to Omaha. To watch a group of young men raise the Big 12 Conference Track and Field Championship right here in Lubbock, Texas. That's the high for me as an athletics director, because these young people have worked so hard, and to watch them enjoy the results of their hard work. When the cameras aren't on them, when nobody knows the time, dedication, and the commitment to being successful, and watching them learn those lessons. That's important. Watching that, I sit back and there's nothing I can control other than knowing that we've given them the facilities, the resources, and the coaches to be the very best that they can be.
And you have to deal with a lot of ancillary things also, donors, others coming up to talk to you. So you have to, at probably a lot of events, you have to wear many hats.
But that's a great thing.
Right.
When you've got the support base and interest that we have at Texas Tech University, there has not been one community that we've lived in that there has been greater community support than what Lubbock, Texas and West Texas provides. You don't go anywhere in this region that you don't see somebody wearing a Texas Tech t-shirt or a Texas Tech cap. You won't find any greater support on a campus in this country for its athletics program than our student body provides to us. At a time where student attendance is declining throughout the country, we're setting records. Mm-hmm. We're setting records for single game attendance at football, at men's basketball, at baseball, at women's soccer. The student body here is tremendous in their support of intercollegiate athletics.
So are those things that can go into, can you win on a sustained basis at Texas Tech? Can you compete year in and year out? Is it realistic to think all of your sports can compete year in and year out for a Big 12 championship?
Without a doubt. That's our goal. We're not going to stop short of that. We're going to continue to pursue that each and every day. For so long, so many of our programs have been competing at that level. Men's golf has been to 14 consecutive NCAA tournaments. Women's basketball has won a national championship. Our baseball team has been to the College World Series. Our track team has won two Big 12 conference championships in the last 10 years. Our expectation is to be the very best, and there are no excuses. We have all the tools, all the resources right here at Texas Tech University to be the very best.
And when you look at facilities, and we've talked about the campaign to improve those facilities, do you feel like that has put you on the level where you can say, hey, we can compete with anybody?
Absolutely. We can stand shoulder to shoulder with anybody in this country with our athletic facilities and be very proud of what we have and what we have to showcase to student athletes and prospects when they come in to make their decisions. At the same time, we sell the vision of where we're going to continue to grow and elevate Texas Tech athletics to, and with the right leadership in our head coaches and assistant coaches, tremendous opportunity for us to continue to grow.
And obviously, there's been a lot of donors, a lot of money that has made this happen for us.
Yeah, individuals who are some of the most generous and sincere people that I've ever met. Individuals who have already come forward through the Campaign for Fearless Champions, a $185 million initiative, and we have surpassed $80 million in gifts raised or pledged. These are individuals, many of which who have made a significant step forward based upon their trust in us and their belief in what we're doing and commitment to us to be the very best that we can be.
Campaign for Fearless Champions. You go online to texastech.com to find out more information about that. You can see some great drawings. Also go to our website, kttz.org, for more information about that. And again, probably make it easy for people who want to give to that campaign as well. When we come back with Kirby Hocutt, we'll look a little bit into the future, get a little bit of information about his past as well. You're watching Inside Texas Tech.
What if television could sweep us away to another time and place?
Very nice, my lady.
And could take us from the Gilded Age to the Great War. From the heat of the chase to the heart of a queen. No one tells stories like PBS. Give to your PBS station and help bring stories like these to life.
I'm going to propose a deal.
Prepare yourself.
Oh my God.
I wanted love. I needed love. Most of all.
I thought I'd be alone forever.
Most of all.
Are you dumping me?
Someone said true love was dead, and I'm bound to fall for you.
But there will be a new life for me.
What can I do?
What life?
Please don't insult my intelligence.
Tighten up on your reins, you're running wild.
These people will kill you.
Running wild. It's true.
Let battle commence.
This is over!
I never know when I'm going too far, but I'm always so glad when I do.
Welcome back to Inside Texas Tech. I'm Robert Giovannetti. We've been pleased tonight to be joined by Kirby Hocutt. He's the athletics director here at Texas Tech. He's talked a little bit about the Campaign for Fearless Champions and some of the other things going on here at Texas Tech as far as athletics. Kirby, you get a lot of attention, obviously, in your position, and that's part of the great part of being the athletic director. Sometimes do you feel a little bit on an island because sometimes you have some tough decisions. We've seen even in the last year, you've had some situations with student athletes or even some coaches that sometimes the job is not all that fun, right?
Well, it has its moments. It has its moments when you are faced with challenging decisions and a set of circumstances that you do the very best you can to navigate through to the best possible endpoint for Texas Tech University. For me, I'd like to say we're a principle-based organization and business. We have a mission statement and we have 7 guiding principles that regardless of the situation, we look to guide us, to keep us focused forward and to make decisions. And during those times of trouble, I tell our coaches, I tell our staff that you should be able to sit back and reflect upon our mission statement, our guiding principles, and to know what the final decision is going to be. So at the end of the day, we make the decisions that are consistent with those core values, and we make decisions that are ultimately in the best interest of Texas Tech University, and that's what we will always do. And as long as you stay true to that approach, then you'll continue to look forward and still achieve your goals as an athletics program.
We don't have a lot of time left, but there's a couple things I want to touch on real quick before we lose you tonight. The Big 12. How do you feel the strength of the conference right now? We've had all the realignment and teams have shifted. Do you think it's secure? Do you think there's going to be any more movement?
I think we're very secure. I think we've got tremendous leadership in Bob Bowlesby. I believe Bob has brought a sense of leadership and vision to this league that we have not enjoyed in a long time. I believe that you have 10 members sitting around the table, all who are committed to one another, growing this league as we look forward. The college football playoff is new. This is the first year that there will be a 4-team playoff for college football. We believe that having a league comprised of 10 members where we play everybody in our conference. The other 4 major leagues do not do that. We will crown a true championship on the field of competition, and I believe that we are best positioned to ensure that we've got one of those 4 playoff teams. We're very fortunate that we've got a tremendous television package. If we can continue to get a team into that 4-team playoff, I think we've got a tremendous future as a league and as a conference, and I believe that we will all continue to stay together and look forward to the future.
Well, and it's just financial sense, right? You want to be very judicious about who you might let into the league when you think about splitting the dollars that are there.
Well, there are so many aspects when you look at the landscape of intercollegiate athletics, and I think as we look back in 5 or 10 years, there will be a lot of schools asking themselves why they made the decisions that they did through realignment. I believe we're in a great position. I like West Virginia. I like West Virginia because it gets us into a new part of the country.
Right.
You know, I think welcoming TCU back into the league has been a positive. There are some that might look at that and say, well, it eats into the Metroplex where we have such a stronghold as a university in. But that's a great rivalry and one that will continue to grow as we move forward. So I feel very confident where we are. I think we've got great leadership in Bob Bowlesby, and I think great things are ahead for the Big 12 Conference.
When you look back at young Kirby Hocutt, linebacker at Kansas State University, did you ever envision this is the way your career would go?
I still thought I'd probably be playing for the Dallas Cowboys.
You're just now retiring.
Just
right?
now retiring.
Yes.
But Spike Dykes reminds me that I never played in the NFL. That's why he didn't recruit me initially from Sherman, Texas to come to Texas Tech. But, you know, the 5 years that I experienced as a student athlete were some of the most impressionable years of my life. And I think the lessons that I learned during those times as a student athlete had such a profound impact on me. Knew I wanted to pursue a career in sports and intercollegiate athletics, and feel very blessed that I've had an opportunity to be around the leaders that I have and have had the opportunities that I've had, and couldn't be more excited or feel more fortunate to be where I am today, and wouldn't want to be anywhere else than Texas Tech University.
You know, when you think back on some of those tough decisions you've had to go through while here or even anywhere else, who's your go-to person that you either pick up the phone or you talk to and just kind of uses a sounding board?
Well, you know, two men who have had a profound impact on my career. One is Chuck Ninus. Chuck was my first boss at the College Football Association. He recently served as interim commissioner of the Big 12 Conference, and as somebody that I have always leaned on during times of decision making, or you need to bounce something off of. Chuck Ninus has been a consistent mentor for me. Joe Castiglione is somebody who I have leaned on heavily in my career. He remains a close personal friend and mentor of mine, and somebody that you know, has been very dear to me, and somebody that I continue to lean on through certain situations.
He's the director of athletics at Oklahoma. Let's talk a little bit about your family before we wrap up, because everyone talks about coaches' families, but your family's the same situation, right? You've got 2 young boys growing up, and your wife has to soldier a lot because of what you do and your responsibilities here.
Well, I couldn't be more fortunate. Diane and I have been married for 14 years, and she is very supportive and helps me in every way. And you know, I couldn't ask for a better wife as we raise two beautiful boys here in Lubbock, Texas. Drew's in 7th grade at Friendship Middle School, and Brooks is in 5th grade at Bennett Elementary School, and they are very active in youth sports and healthy, enjoy school, and couldn't have more fun with them than we do each and every day.
And I always remember your opening press conference because you talked about maybe future Red River baseball players there, because I know they love baseball and they love play soccer and other sports too. And so, do you get a chance to go watch them as much as you'd like?
You know, if I'm in town, I'm not going to miss a game.
Right.
And this is, I think, the 3rd consecutive year I'm going to coach Brooks's basketball team.
Oh, wow.
Also been involved helping coach his baseball team. So it's a lot of fun. We wouldn't change a single thing.
No technical fouls, right, on the sideline.
I can promise you that. No.
Yeah, because that'd be a story in its own. Just besides just the youth coach getting the technical, but Kirby Hocutt, that would add a little more spice to it.
It will not happen.
Well, Kirby, we appreciate you taking the time with us tonight. Again, lots of great things going on at Texas Tech Athletics. You got to be really happy, really proud of all of your sports. You talked about a few of them here tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Good luck on the campaign for Fearless Champions, and good luck on the field this season here at Texas Tech.
Thank you. Guns up.